Hey, grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Berean TV. A sister wrote me, and the sister said, Berean, I'm a Christian, but I like listening to Hebrew Israelites because they speak on, I guess, racial injustices and things of that sort. And I said, let me just attempt to answer that. And basically she was asking me, do you think it's okay for a Christian to listen to Hebrew Israelites? I listen to once in a while. I listen to Pastor Stephen Darby. He teaches that blacks are the true Israelites, Hebrews or whatever. I listen to him, but I would caution, not because Darby, I would caution people that deal with Israelites, especially these guys on the corner, for a couple of reasons, and I'm going to attempt to explain that. One of the things is that I know specifically what Rich says. A lot of people don't have books like Systematic Theology, Wayne Grudem. Systematic Theology is an excellent book. The average believer that goes to church, they're not astute, they're not steeped into the Bible. So it's a little dangerous because they're speaking on racial or issues and injustices in the world. You can easily get thrown off. You got to remember, the Bible says that in the last days, the Bible speaks about doctrines of devils and seducing spirits. So rape is one thing, but seduction takes place over a period of time, and you have to be careful. So it's a little dangerous because Israelites don't explain certain things straight out of the scriptures. Of course, I have my other brothers and apologists and everybody like they are of the devil. I don't care if they're using the Bible. But there are people, like I said, I would listen to Stephen Darby. But you have to definitely be careful. The Bible says Christ is the end of the law of for righteousness to those that believe. The Apostle Paul says that if the righteousness came by the law, that Christ has died in vain. Where else? If we look at John the 4th chapter, the Messiah said that the hour is coming, and now is that when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. And in this context, he was at the well speaking to a woman who was a Samaritan, and the woman even said, she said, "Why are you speaking to me? Because the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans." We're living in a time where people are hooked on ancestry and their DNA and all of that stuff. But according to the Bible, if you're born again, there's another seed, there's another spirit that is inside of you. And to be honest, that has nothing to do with DNA and the color of your skin. Injustices going on in the world is one thing, but that can't separate you from the truths of the kingdom. That's how come I say it's dangerous. I listen to other people. I listen to all type of people. But that's different. I don't recommend everybody do that. I read all type of books, but I don't recommend everybody do that. It's it can be very dangerous. It can be very dangerous. And another thing, when we start dealing with the Israelites, there was a book back in the days. I think Carl wrote that book, a Canadian naval officer, if I remember correctly, on pawns in the game. I believe that there's a reason that you can have Hebrew Israelites on the corner of 44th Street, 42nd Street, 34th Street in the biggest city, the center of the world, New York City, hollering the white man's rule is coming to an end and y'all are going to be our slaves. And the Ku Klux Klan couldn't do that. The skinhead, these neo-Nazi groups, they couldn't get out here for 20 years. I'm in New York, and trust me, they couldn't come down on the corner and start talking that craziness. Y'all going back into slavery as black people. We're going to tear y'all down. We're going to be whipping y'all. They couldn't do it. But I believe a lot of these Hebrew camps, they don't know that they're deceived, so they're in a corner talking about raping white women and all of that other stuff because the elite, they have an agenda. They say, let them get out there. Let the world see them. So when we start treating them a certain way, we're doing it for a reason. The same thing with rap. We have our women half naked on rap. You calling them the B word and all of that stuff. It's all a setup. There's certain people, there are elite. They're saying, let them talk that stuff. But nobody's even thinking, oh, we're the men of the Lord. First of all, y'all making people not even want the book. They're saying the book is not for anybody but us and all of this stuff. It's just look at all crazy. It's a bunch of craziness, but at the same time, it's dangerous. And I believe that people can be involuntary. They may not know they can be involuntary tools for the elite to control and do what they do. Because one thing about the enemy has long-term plans. When the enemy spoke to Eve in the garden, he wasn't just thinking about them. He had long-term plans. And there's a lot of people that are involved in these Israelite camps, and the feds got them down as hate groups. They're on the corner talking crazy. The Asians, people coming from all over the world, looking at them. It's like the zoo. It's like the zoo. Look at them in the zoo. Look at them behind the glass. Look how they're acting. And they're on corner hollering with costumes on and performing, and they think it's the Lord's work. They're thinking is a good thing. And in all actuality, it could be very detrimental. So to that sister, I'd say I'd be careful. I don't do what I do. I do it because I'm an apologist and for for other different reasons, but don't do what I do. A lot of times people are not grounded enough in the word. They don't know enough of the word. And even when you begin to start dealing with Hebrew Israelites on certain questions, you can't even, well, the Bible says, Jesus said, pray for those that despitefully use you. That sounds like NYPD. Now, I'm not to the place where I'm spiritual enough to start dealing with praying for the cops. Once I seen someone beat down by the police officers or shot and they were unarmed and all of this stuff like that. But clearly the text say that, and they're trying to make the text say something else. Oh, he was talking about do good to your brother. That's to the other Israelites, to the other black people. They even disrespect other black people. Oh, you're part of the 2/3 and the 144,000. I don't even want to start talking about that, because the Bible says the 144,000 were virgin men and didn't have no guile found in their mouths. So show not those guys on 42nd Street. I'm Brother Berean, and you've been watching Berean TV. If you like what you heard, subscribe. Thanks for watching.